Hello, hello, hello. As you can see, I am not your usual host, Goldie Rangs. It's your boy, Adam, the Gray Skull Knight. The rest of the crew is off taking care of some business, but I'm here holding it down, so I'm here to give you the news. So what's that Rangs be saying? Good morning, good evening, and good night. Let's get started. You know what I'm saying? Welcome back to the Slyy Report. And today we're gonna give you the news on One Piece 1121. So stay tuned and we'll be right back with that news. So we start this chapter with Luffy warning the others not to let Saturn hit him with his spider leg claw thingies because they are poisonous. Saturn, he's just attacking, he's trying to hit anybody and everybody. The Giants, they throwing up their shields and they're doing a good job of blocking this attack. They're parrying these attacks with these shields. They're really good warriors and it's nice to see that. But as he is doing this, Luffy is beginning to prepare an attack, but out of the corner of his eye, he notices young Bonnie getting up, struggling, dead tired, trying to return to her Nika form to get up and confront the oppressor of her father, mother, and her. So, as Luffy sees this, Saturn is also seeing this, and he's like, nah, ain't no way. And he tries to stop this from happening by attacking Bonnie. But Luffy, being the encouraging, good big brother type that he is to her, intervenes and blocks the attack and gives verbal encouragement, telling Bonnie, yeah, come on, we can do this. Come on, get in here. So, all of this is happening, and as you can see, this chapter is really going to display the big brother, little sister bond that I'm telling you is there between Luffy and Bonnie. But we must continue. We cannot get stuck right here. We then cut over to Vegapunk delivering the message. And hold on, let me get my handy dandy notebook right here. I'm going to read you this message verbatim. He says, a day of awakening is coming, where all the pressing secrets of the Void Century will be uncovered. He continues, we know the weapons technology that sank the world's continents is still in use. That power is out there. And as he is saying this, we get a brief glimpse of Vivi, Shirahoshi, and then we go to Wiper and his people up in the Sky Islands. But for right here, real quick, let's focus on Vivi and Shirahoshi, because Vivi and Shirahoshi are both connected to two of the technologies, the ancient technologies that Vegapunk is speaking of. One isn't even technology. As we know, Poseidon is Shirahoshi. But Vivi, the princess slash queen of Alabasta now, also is important because her country holds the location of an ancient weapon. That was what the whole Alabasta arc was about. Crocodile was trying to get his hands on an ancient weapon. So, important. I don't really understand the importance of the Sky Islands within this context yet, but hey, that might be a connection that is trying to be drawn there. You know what I'm saying? That might be something. But we cannot stop. We cannot focus there. Because Vegapunk continues, those with rare and unique racial ancestry are relentlessly persecuted and slaughtered today due to some mysterious quirk of history. As he is saying this, we do see Kuma, and he is thinking back on his conversation with Vegapunk. And when I say thinking, and we're going to put thinking in quote, air quotes, because he is, I don't know where Kuma is on the life to death spectrum right now, but he's conscious enough to be doing this. So, that's happening. And he's thinking about the conversation he had with Vegapunk about being a Buccaneer. As this is happening, we also see Marco, who is thinking on Whitebeard, who had once upon a time told him that up there a long time ago in the past that there was a race of gods that used to live up there on that continent, in that place, is what he says. And I believe he's talking about, Lunarians. But also, here's the thing. It's him being there right after Kuma, suggesting or softly confirming that Whitebeard is of Buccaneer descent. I wouldn't be against it if that was what that was saying also. But we must continue, because after we see Marco thinking back on Whitebeard, we also get a scene with the Lunarian man himself, King. And he's thinking on his past of being a Lunarian and how he was hunted down and the things people have said about just him being who he is. You know what I'm saying? So that's there. And then we see Pudding, who is somewhere in a cell. And she is thinking back also on her past and how she was persecuted for being of the Three-Eyed tribe. So as you can see, all of these elements are coming together. You know what I'm saying? They're mixed into a nice pot, and it's gonna come out into a nice flavorful stew full of lore and connections. So that's happening. But we cannot focus on this one point here because there is much more. So we will continue. As we then cut back to the shores of Egghead, we see Saturn is going to attack Bonnie as she is preparing to attack him. She jumps up and says that he is hers to deal with. Saturn replies to this that, hey man, and he's angry at this point. He's furious. He's like, you're nothing but a parrot. You're mimicking something you do not even comprehend. As he's attacking her, preparing to interrupt her, attacking him. But just like the good big brotherly figure that he is, Luffy comes in and blocks that attack, kicking it aside, saying, enough. And he's like, nah, you're not having that. So Bonnie is preparing this attack, finally giving Saturn a piece of her mind. A piece of her mind that she has needed and more than deserves to give this man. So I am going to read it verbatim. And we are going to see what Bonnie has to say to Saint Saturn. So let's grab the handy dandy notebook. She says, how dare you? All the things you did to daddy? What you did to mommy? How dare you call yourself a god? Real gods do exist. Real heroes too. All I ever wanted was for the three of us to live in peace. Being alone for so long made me want to die, but I kept going. I owe everything to those two. They blessed me in so many ways. And as she said this, Bonnie is cocking back on a Gear 3 like punch as a giant Luffy is posed up behind her in big brother fashion, backing her up, also ready to lay the smackers down on this jabroni. As she says, liberating. And then we cut away. We cut away to Water 7. We cut away to Witheria. We cut away to Judge and Caesar, to the interior of Egghead, and finally to the Iron Giant, facing down Jupiter and Saint Workery, as Vegapunk message continues to say. And again, I'm going to read it verbatim because all of this is important right now. He says, there will be a reckoning on the day those answers come. You must guard yourselves. No matter what happens, I have faith in humanity's capacity for wisdom. I have faith in science. Roger died 25 years ago. and it's been 2 years since Whitebeard's death. A new age is heralded by the passing of old legends. We then cut back to Bonnie as she's landing that giant punch right in Saturn's dumb jabroni face. As Luffy is Gatling punching his body all around her, finishing her sentence, she says liberating Nika punch as Saturn is blown back and blown to pieces by the combination of the true liberator and the one that was raised to believe in the liberator. Let's not let that be lost on us here. Let's not let that be lost on us here. That is truly amazing, truly heartwarming, truly touching. This little girl whose entire life has been suffering, whose parents' entire life was suffering with brief moments of happiness, whose father sacrificed himself so that she would live, is getting the justice she deserves by punching the man responsible square in his face. But we cannot get stuck here, even though this is as hype as this hype can be. We cannot get stuck here. We must continue. So we will. So as Saturn is blown back, blown to pieces, Vegapunk's message continues. And he says, today there are certain individuals who can't be oppressed. We leave off there, but everybody is celebrating with Bonnie as this is happening. As Vegapunk is saying this, as we see these words, we see everybody celebrating with Bonnie. Bonnie's weeping tears of joy as she's finally gotten that. She feels like she's gotten that off her chest. You know what I'm saying? The relief, the liberation of spirit, so to speak. Luffy is just laughing. He's saying, hey man, we really sent him flying, didn't we, Bonnie? And he's telling her she did a good job. And even on the face of Bartholomew Kuma, there is a slight smile. And that, my friends, is heartwarming. So, then Dory and Broggy, they look up, they see the Sunny coming down, and we cut over to the Sunny, where Usopp is freaking out as usual. He thinks they're gonna die. They're falling from the sky. Jinbei's at the helm. Chopper's hanging on to Jinbei's hair. But notice something. Notice this. Zoro notices something. And as he is noticing something, he puts his hand to draw one of his swords. So I don't know what Zoro is seeing right now, but apparently he's getting ready for something. We'll see. But as this is happening, Vegapunk's message continues. And he says, such individuals are possibly the closest to the truth. There's a little bit of static, and then he says, is it a coincidence, or did Roger set all of this in motion? We see a brief flash of Roger at his execution where he says his famous words, you know what I'm saying? Before cutting to various locations. First, we see Rayleigh. He's passed out in Shaki's bar with Shaki there taking care of him. You know, that's good. Next, we see random pirates. They're excited about what Vegapunk is saying. And then we cut to a wide view of Pirate Island. And the Blackbeard fleet is ready to mobilize. All they're doing is waiting for Blackbeard himself to return. So they're like, where's Blackbeard? We're ready to go. Let's get out of here. We then briefly see the Red Force, where somebody is telling Shanks, hey man, you're drinking too much. And Shanks, clearly drunk, is like, shut up. I'm not drunk. Get out of here. So then we cut over to the Cross Guild, where the crew of the Cross Guild is glazing Buggy as usual. They're just, you're like, wow, we can't believe your motivations run so deep. We can't believe you're connected to all this. Blah, blah, blah. And while they're doing all of that, we see Crocodile and Mihawk, and they're just annoyed with Buggy over in the corner. But, they're along for the ride now. But after we see all of this, Vegapunk continues and he says, unfortunately, there is no guarantee that it will be found by someone Joy Boy would want. We then cut over to Navy Marine HQ, where some Marines are trying themselves to go after the One Piece to prevent the bad people from getting a hold of it. But we go on from this, and Vegapunk continues, and he's like, there's no stopping this now. The fate of this world will be decided by whoever finds it. It all depends on who finds the One Piece. And as he says this, we see people whose fates are tied to the fate of the world. First, we see the current Yonko, Buggy, Blackbeard, Luffy, Shanks. We see Dragon and Sabo, the number 1 and the number 2 in the Rev. We see Kuzan, whose true goals are a mystery. But, as he told Smoker, he's chasing his own brand of justice now. He's seeking something that he could not find within the Navy Marine confines. But he is also aligned with Blackbeard at this present moment. So, what are his goals? We do not know. We also see St. Garland and Emu, the protector and the ruler of the current status quo. We see Sakazuki, the fleet admiral, and Kobe, the people's hero and the future of the Marines, as said by Garp. And then, finally, we have a mystery figure, shrouded in the shadows, holding a sword. Who is he connected to? Some people say he is of the Figureland family. Some people say he is not connected to Shanks at all. Is he a God Knight? Is he a random third party? Is he the man marked by flames? We do not know, but we will. Stay tuned to find out. And that, my friends, is where this chapter ends. I'd like to thank you for joining us today. I have been Adam the Gray Skull Knight, filling in for Goldie Ranks on the Slyy Report. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all of those good things. And we will be back next time. Hopefully, Reigns will be back in this chair so I don't have to do this job again. But if not, I will be back. So, thank you. And once again, I will see you next time.